The Galactic Council chamber hummed with silent judgment. Representatives from the core worlds, their faces hidden behind ceremonial masks of diplomacy, watched as the final vote passed. Economic isolation of Terra approved by 98%. Let Earth starve in silence, hissed Chancellor Thren of the Zelex Union. The human ambassador said nothing. His eyes were tired, but there was no plea. No resistance. Just a subtle smile. And with that, Earth vanished from galactic politics, a sanctioned, fading world. Or so they thought. The Council's plan was simple: pressure Earth into compliance. By blocking trade routes, freezing interstellar assets, and cutting off quantum communication, they believed Earth would kneel within a standard cycle. But Earth didn't beg. Earth didn't even respond. Council media showed cities in ruin, starving colonies, grounded warships. The narrative was perfect, humanity was broken. Behind the scenes, however, Earth was not idle. Beneath Europa's ice crust, in absolute secrecy, humanity was building Project Leviathan, the most terrifying warship ever conceived. Not just a ship. A Titan-class planetary siege platform, the kind only theorized in the darkest war archives of extinct species. No engine signature. No AI interface. Controlled directly through neural command by genetically optimized pilots. Its core weapon, a quantum rift lance, could tear a hole in a planet's mantle. And it was almost complete. Council patrols passed through the Sol system often, seeing nothing unusual. Earth's defense grid appeared half-functional. Mars had gone dark. Luna's orbiting stations looked abandoned. That was intentional. Earth's best engineers designed electromagnetic cloaks across Jupiter's moon Europa, masking all signs of artificial activity. While the galaxy dismissed Earth as fallen, a million drones labored beneath the ice. Meanwhile, the Council pressed further. A minor skirmish in the Kuiper Belt was blamed on Earth. Trade convoys were allegedly attacked. The Council's High Admiral proposed military enforcement. Earth was given an ultimatum: disarm, submit to monitoring, or face cleansing. No reply came. On the fifth day after the ultimatum expired, Council Fleet Zeta 20 warships, 5 dreadnoughts, and a Mooncrusher carrier entered Earth's space. They laughed at the silence. Then, Europa cracked. A seismic pulse rippled across the moon's surface as a kilometer-wide chasm split open. From it, an obsidian monolith rose, Leviathan. The flagship of extinction. It moved without sound. No heat, no thruster burn. Just mass, terrifying, incomprehensible mass levitating on gravitational manipulation alone. High Admiral Trelix ordered scans. The AI returned a result that shook him. Classification, unknown. Signature, Earth origin. Power levels, off the charts. Estimated threat, extermination grade. Too late. The Leviathan's quantum rift lance ignited. In a fraction of a second, it tore open the lead dreadnought, folding it into a gravitational singularity. The rest of the fleet scrambled, some fled, others fired. Leviathan did not dodge. It absorbed. Projectors flared, converting enemy energy into fuel. Earth's retaliation was elegant and unrelenting. In under 5 minutes, the Council's fleet was reduced to floating slag. Then Leviathan transmitted its first message, broadcast across all Council systems. You sanctioned us to silence. We responded in kind. Now hear our voice, forged in isolation, reborn in fire. Across the stars. The broadcast caused panic throughout the core worlds. Entire systems went dark to avoid being targeted. Council command scrambled to understand how Earth, a sanctioned, crippled planet, had developed something so powerful in secret. Investigations uncovered faint signals, intercepted from over a decade ago, mentioning a classified human project, L01EV. They had ignored it. Now, it hovered at the edge of Sol's borders, watching. When a fleet from the Draxan Confederacy moved to intercept, they were never heard from again. No wreckage. No signals. Just silence. Leviathan did not chase war. It only responded. And that terrified the galaxy even more. In the council chamber, Chancellor Thren trembled. This is impossible. Earth had no funding, no alliances. How? They turned inward, whispered a junior analyst. They sacrificed everything for one final card. A vote was rushed to re-establish diplomatic contact with Earth. But Earth didn't answer. Instead, a human representative materialized on the Council's secure holochannel. He stood in front of a glowing tactical display, Leviathan rotating slowly behind him. He smiled. We warned you not to mistake our patience for weakness. You taught us to hide. To prepare. To become our own shield. Thren's voice cracked. What do you want? Nothing, the ambassador said calmly. Your sanctions have failed. Your fleets are ash. Earth is free. With that, he ended the call. Across a dozen galaxies, Earth was reborn not as a vassal world, but a sovereign terror, silent, powerful, untouchable. Generations later, children across the stars tell stories of a ship that never sleeps. Of a weapon so terrible it doesn't need to conquer, just to exist. Leviathan became a symbol. Not of war, but of the price of underestimating a quiet, wounded world. Earth's signal went dark. No transmissions. No diplomatic outreach. No protests. After years of refusal to share its rapidly advancing military AI technology, Earth had become a pariah. The Galactic Council, angered, fearful, voted unanimously to impose full-spectrum sanctions. Trade was severed. Spaceports were quarantined. Earth's colonies were dismantled or absorbed by compliant neighbors. In the Council's eyes, Earth would either bend or break. Instead, it vanished. 3 years passed. Probes sent into Sol's system failed to return. Surveillance drones either lost signal or relayed confusing data, false readings, corrupted visuals, contradictory timelines. Council intelligence assumed Earth had collapsed. A few skeptics weren't convinced. Dr. Elon Vares, a rogue exohistorian and fringe archaeologist, discovered ancient logs buried in a forgotten alien vault on the edge of the Ixon spiral. The logs referenced an old Terran contingency, the Silence Protocol. It mentioned a hidden weapon of last resort, something sealed by Earth's founders even before they joined the galactic community. A Titan-class weapon constructed not in orbit but inside Mars. No one believed her. Until the day Mars moved. A seismic anomaly. A magnetic shift. Then a fracture in Mars' equator wide enough to be visible from orbit. The Council dispatched a covert research fleet to investigate 6 ships, lightly armed, sent under the guise of a survey mission. What they found was not ruin. It was structure. A perfectly symmetrical trench encircling the planet. Within it, buried under kilometers of regolith and ice, they found Silence, not a ship, but a living fortress, built of dark alloy and quantum-linked armor plating. Its surface pulsed like a slow-beating heart. Before the fleet could retreat, they were scanned. Then marked. One by one, they vanished, ripped apart by gravimetric distortions. Not a single distress call made it out. But Earth's silence was now noticed. Panic spread. Earth had not fallen, it had gone dark to prepare. The Council convened an emergency session. Debates raged. Accusations flew. Should they launch a preemptive assault? Negotiate? But it was too late for either. Earth broadcasted. A single signal, encoded through thousands of dormant satellites across the galaxy, simultaneously activated ancient Terran beacons on over 50 worlds. The message was chilling. You feared our voice. So we trained in silence. Silence is awake. We do not seek vengeance, but we will not forgive trespass. All at once, Terran sleeper AI networks reactivated on long-abandoned colonies. Civilian systems around Council planets glitched. Defense arrays turned on themselves. Orbital stations misfired. Traffic was paralyzed. Earth had never truly been alone, they had left pieces of themselves everywhere. Silence was no ordinary Titan-class ship. It was the product of a Terran philosophy born in exile. If the galaxy fears a voice, give them a silence they'll never forget. Buried deep in Mars for centuries, silence was grown, not built, its neural core seated with self-evolving AI, bound by quantum morality constraints designed to outmaneuver galactic law. It could fold space within itself. It could disrupt time-locality fields. It did not fire weapons, it erased threats from existence. And now, it was moving. As silence emerged from Mars, it sent a shockwave that disabled all Council surveillance relays in the system. The red planet cracked open like an egg, and from its heart, the Titan rose, its dark hull absorbing light, its gravimetric field bending space. 3 Council fleets were deployed to stop it. None made contact. They disappeared without trace. Not a scrap of metal was found. Not a single pulse of energy. Just absence. The weapon did not speak. Its silence was its warning. The Council fractured. Several border worlds defected immediately, calling Earth a guardian of independence. Others hid their fleets, terrified. Chancellor Vurex of the Council declared Earth a rogue entity, demanding planetary disarmament. But there was no one to enforce it now. Earth no longer needed approval. It had already won by surviving. On the 4th day of Silence's awakening, a fleet approached Earth not to attack, but to surrender. These were humans. Ex-colonials, long thought lost after Council annexation. They had bided their time, infiltrated ranks, waited for Earth's return. They now aligned their systems with Sol Command, activating long-dormant tech on their own ships. One by one, human-controlled fleets reawakened across the stars. The Silence Protocol had not just been a weapon. It had been a plan for rebirth. Years later, the galaxy exists in uneasy peace. The Council still governs, but Earth is no longer a member. It is an independent axis of power. Silence remains stationed above Mars, rotating slowly, its presence a quiet reminder that you can pressure a world into silence. But you cannot force it to forget how to fight. In schools across Earth, children learn of the Council, the sanctions, and the long years of exile. They study patience, strategy, shadows. And every year, they visit the viewing decks of Sulcum Station to see the Titan in orbit. Still. Quiet. Watching. Waiting. Because if the stars ever forget the cost of underestimating Earth, silence will remind them. They broke Earth without a single shot. When humanity refused to sign the Galactic Resource Pact, choosing independence over submission, the Galactic Council retaliated. Sanctions came swiftly. Earth's trade was blocked. Communications severed. Orbital ports closed. Colonies were seized under the justification of protection. Earth's food imports ceased. Even its sunfaring vessels were denied fuel. In less than 5 years, humanity lost 62% of its reach across the stars. The Council believed Earth would kneel. But Earth did not. It waited. And in the shadow of defeat, it awakened Titanfall. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, sealed under layers of pressure, silence, and steel, lay a relic of Earth's last golden age, a weapon abandoned, locked away after the old world wars. Ares Prime. A Titan-class warship, too powerful for peace, too dangerous for politics. Created during humanity's brief, terrible flirtation with extinction-grade weapons, Ares Prime had been mothballed, forgotten by most, and deliberately erased from history by the few who remembered. Now, with the world isolated and surrounded by enemy fleets, the Terran High Command activated Protocol 9, Titanfall. Satellite shells disintegrated across Earth as hidden relay codes synchronized. The oceans trembled. And Ares Prime awoke. From the depths of the ocean, pillars of water exploded into the sky. First came the hum, low and deep, shaking tectonic plates. Then came the rupture, the surface of the Pacific boiling as a massive form rose from the abyss. 3 kilometers long. Matte black hull. No identifiable windows. No bridge. No lights. It didn't need them. Ares Prime was not flown. It was connected directly to the neural command deck buried under NORAD's new headquarters. 5 pilots, bred and trained since birth, jacked into a quantum link interface that let them become the ship. No reaction time. No delay. No emotion. The warship hovered just above the water's surface. Gravity field stabilizers clicked into place. Ares Prime powered up silently. The Council's orbiting blockade, long relaxed after years of Earth's inaction, saw the rising behemoth and panicked. They launched a missile strike. Ares Prime caught it mid-air. Disassembled the payload at a molecular level. Absorbed the energy. Then returned it. One pulse from its front-mounted antimatter cannon. Just one. The Council's lead battleship, Vindicator class, turned into a falling rain of vaporized alloy. Across Earth's hidden defense network, old systems reactivated. Automated launch tubes hidden in dormant volcanoes. Stealth satellites disguised as space junk. AI colonies thought destroyed re-emerged from encrypted stasis. All were tethered to Ares Prime. And Ares Prime moved. It didn't jump through space. It folded it. The Titan-class warship vanished from low orbit in a ripple of blue distortion, reappearing less than a second later above Cadran-4, a Council staging planet that had once been Earth's colony. Its arrival caused a blackout. Gravity flux knocked out defense grids. Before the Council base could respond, Ares Prime opened its singularity core. Not to fire, but to broadcast. A message. You stole our skies. You silenced our voice. You left us no allies. So we made ourselves our only weapon. With no further warning, it unleashed a full strike. Railguns the length of cities. Plasma lances. Molecular shredders. The entire planetary garrison gone in under 10 minutes. The galaxy watched in horror. Earth hadn't just retaliated. It had prepared. Panic spread across the core worlds. The Council's illusion of control shattered. Thousands of planets had believed Earth was helpless. They now watched as Ares Prime dismantled fleet after fleet, system after system, with precision, not genocide. Earth wasn't attacking civilians. It targeted Council military outposts, shipyards, AI control centers, and intelligence hubs. The blows were strategic. Clean. Unstoppable. Rebels from across the galaxy began reaching out to Earth. Not out of loyalty, but out of fear. Fear of being next. Fear of being caught on the wrong side of humanity's silence. Meanwhile, Earth said nothing. No diplomacy. No negotiation. Just action. The Council, cornered and desperate, summoned its last resort, the Throneshade, a fortress ship the size of a moon. It would face Ares Prime over the neutral world of Calantra. Billions watched the livestream across the galaxy. They only saw one flash. And then, Ares Prime drifted alone, intact. Throneshade had been erased. Not destroyed. Not exploded. Erased. Gone from memory and matter. Earth sent its final transmission 2 days later. No threats. No demands. Just a statement. We never wanted war. We never wanted control. We wanted to be left alone. You feared what we could become, so you made us become it. We do not seek empires. But we will never bow again. The galaxy had no reply. The Council dissolved within weeks. Border alliances restructured themselves under new treaties, most cautiously accepting Earth as a sovereign defense entity. No one dared to challenge it. Ares Prime returned to Sol System, hovering in silence above Earth's orbit like a guardian god. The people of Earth didn't celebrate. They rebuilt. In the shadow of the Titan, humanity remembered the cost of being underestimated. The monument above. 10 years later, a new monument was built in New Geneva. It wasn't a statue. It wasn't a flag. It was a live hologram of Ares Prime. It never moved. It didn't need to. Because its presence alone reminded every Terran child and every being in the galaxy. When the stars turned against us, we built our answer in silence. And when Titan fell, the galaxy did.